this edition of the EV Revolution show. As you know, my name is Kenneth McCoy, your host, and today I'm excited to be invited here to downtown Toronto by Lucid to look at the first Canadian landing, I guess, at least in Toronto, of the new Gravity. Now, I just saw that SUV at the LA Auto Show, so if you watched that episode, you'll see a little bit of coverage there from it. But now I've got some time, it's quiet, there's not a big crowd yet, so I've got an opportunity to talk to some folks, and I'm here talking to...
Hi, Ken. I'm Zeb Kokenauer.
Zeb, that's right.
I've been with Lucid Motors for around 9 years now.
Excellent.
I'm an interior design manager, and I led the interior design of the...
So you're right from the start, basically, right?
I'll
awesome.
be 9 years next week.
9 years,
so,
congrats on the anniversary.
You.
So I did talk to you before, I guess at another event, maybe a year or so ago. I'm trying to think, maybe the Air, yeah. So we did, so I've got the expert that knows it all here. And I don't need to direct you, I'm just going to ask you to talk about the story about how the Gravity got to where it is today.
Absolutely.
That'd be great, yeah.
Okay. So we've worked on Gravity for many years. Mm-hmm. We've done many variations. So our goal is to bring all the attributes that we believe a customer wants in an SUV into one product.
Okay.
With Gravity, we're really excited to share this project now that it took so many years for us to develop and show.
Well, you know, the design is certainly polarizing, but in a good way. I mean that because, you know, you carried on with you know, people will look at this and know that it's a Lucid, right? Especially you look at the Air, look at those products. So the design language is carrying over. But obviously from an exterior look perspective, because it is a bigger vehicle, it's a 3-row SUV, you've had to do some changes. What can you highlight there from a design exterior side that you guys are proud of?
Yeah, starting with the exterior design around the front.
Yeah.
The front, you'll notice we have the same signature light blade, but this is moved up much higher. The higher position of the light blade gives this more attitude for an SUV feel in the vehicle.
Right.
Additionally, the light blade has more brake and plan view to give it a little bit more attitude and very bold, sophisticated stance. Okay. Onto the side of the front end, our vertical lights are pulled more to the outside of the fascia. This gives better stance to the vehicle, while also we move the high beam from the main area of the light blade down to this location.
Right. Okay.
And doing this provides a larger opening for the trunk and more usability.
Okay, excellent, excellent. All right, so moving to the side of the vehicle.
All right.
Yeah.
So moving to the side of the Gravity, you'll see a very sleek, bold profile. We have a high belt line and very pronounced fenders, giving the vehicle a very sporty, sleek stance. We also have our signature floating metal applique on the roof. Okay. This accentuates the space in the cabin, also giving it that very sleek, aggressive proportion.
All right.
All right, onto the rear. This is our rear clamshell design. It's signature design for Lucid, from Lucid Air all the way to Gravity. There's two great benefits to this layout, or this design. It gives it this more spaceship / airplane look, like a cargo bay. But the overall clamshell allows us to get a very low floor height, optimizing all cargo and usability in the vehicle for different sizes of occupants.
I noticed that when I opened it up for some of the B-roll that you're seeing, and you know, that's really important when you're lugging people and stuff, especially stuff, is to be able to, you don't want to have to lift it too high, especially heavier packages. So just to be able to do this and then shovel stuff out, bikes. At LA Auto Show, you guys had a surfboard in there, you had all kinds of stuff you could load it up with, so. Very cool. Love the light treatment, by the way. I'm really big on, you know, give me lots of lights to see brake and turn signals and all that stuff, right?
So one more thing on the clamshell look. Yeah. The clamshell design also is very important for aerodynamics. This section alone is designed to help the air break away from the car, as well as this very long spoiler, and the side fairings really are designed to optimize and get us that 0.24 drag coefficient.
So when you're talking about those aerodynamics, you're talking about that vortex that's in the back, pushing it out farther. So it's going to be swirling farther from the vehicle than we'll normally see where it's closer and putting stuff back onto it, right?
The key is to get that air to really break away cleanly.
Right.
Not only is that up here, but also our battery pack is part of the diffuser that helps with air breaking away from the vehicle.
Right, because it's all a flat underfloor, right?
The battery pack is designed with an angle. It's not flat.
Okay.
So the diffuser is actually part of the battery pack.
Wow, okay, I didn't know that. Learned something new, folks. Excellent, yeah. Looks very nice. Yeah, so here's a view of it all folded, and that's what you guys had in LA when you had a bunch of stuff in it. So.
Yeah, so the right side of the car here you can see is in our full fold flat scenario. Our front seat folded flat, in our third row seat in the trunk. We will have a low floor cover here. The benefit is with the low floor, it can also be held in an up position using these push-push latches.
Okay.
So if you have occupants in the third row, you can still have something tall all the way from the sub-trunk up to here behind the third row seat. You can also use the low floor to cover the seats when they are stowed.
Okay.
Additionally, there's storage on the side of the trunk, like with Air, so we have these plastic covers that cover more storage and your tail hook.
Not sure it's coming out in the lower light, but trust me, there's.
It's a little dark.
If I put my hand in, you can see how far it goes there. It goes quite far.
And then we have many hook features in the trunk. We'll offer different nets and cargo management packages as accessories for the vehicle.
Very nice.
So all of this space, you can fit mountain bikes. You can fit a 8.5 surfboard diagonally.
Yep.
So, also really beneficial for car camping. So additionally, from our ingress mode on the bench seat, the seat is also designed to fold completely flat. So a full flat function. This flips down, giving you seamless flat low floor space the whole way to the trunk.
Wow.
And we'll go over more of that from the rear of the cabin.
Hence fitting the surfboard in here.
Yes.
There you go. It's the surfboard mode.
We keep a 90-degree door opening for the second row door, giving optimum space to get into the second and third row.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight this, folks. This is truly 90 degrees, as you can see. So there's, as long as you have the side room to open the door that way, it's really easy to get stuff and people in here. So now you've second row slides forward. Yes. Obviously tilts in.
Our bench seat is now in ingress-egress mode.
Okay.
So this is for access to the third row.
Okay.
I'll jump back here and talk about some of the third row experience.
Sure. And I'm letting somebody skinny do that because it's going to be a challenge for me, but go for it.
Well,
all right.
Really, the big benefit of this is I'm only 5'8", and I have tons of space in the third row. There's people that are 6'2" that work for the company that sit back here comfortably.
Okay.
It's not, our third row is no longer around town, just in this moment that I have to get somewhere, you can fit everyone. This is truly an experience where a tall sized person can go for a 2 to 3 hour drive and be in comfort. So we have 2 seats here for the third row. We also have features back here like cup holders, third row ventilation, and we have USB charging for devices.
Okay.
All right, so here in the second row of Gravity, this is our bench seat. This has some unique features for usability and ingress-egress that we'll get into later. But also on the back of the center console, we now have an OLED screen here for additional functionality for all features in the rear of the cabin. And then our main advancement to the back of the seats is our answer to rear screen entertainment. Often with other competitors, you have screens that are dated the time that they come out. And what we realized that what people really want is just a place to put their tablet or their PC, laptop. So we have our answer to this is bring your own device.
Yeah.
So we have this table that deploys from the back of the front seat, and you can use that to put your tablet or your laptop to watch media.
Absolutely. Very nice.
We also have the center folds down with cup holders. If you are set up and just 4 people are in the car, and then this closes to seat 7.
Yeah, the use of materials is very comfortable. I love the color scheme as well. Very, very nice. Everything just flows.
We continue with this wrap from the front of the cabin in the rear to add spaciousness to the vehicle.
Yep.
And there's also ambient lighting along this right.
Very nice. Okay, go for it.
So now to the front of the vehicle. The main benefit with EVs and a key DNA characteristic with Lucid is our front storage space. Like with Air, we have a front wing Gravity. This front wing Gravity is all hard plastic. The main benefit of this is used as your dirty zone. Think wetsuits with sand, work boots, you just did mountain climbing or mountain biking and you want to throw all the mud in this area. So let's get it in there. So it's all drainable. So
Okay.
you can go to the car wash or at your house. When you're done pulling your stuff out, you can just power wash the whole area off, and it'll drain out of the front.
Pretty neat. And tie downs if you need that.
Tie
for
downs,
stuff,
so
yeah.
tie downs, and all the home features for different accessories that we will offer.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, our CEO's favorite feature of the vehicle, we designed a front seat experience. We call this frunking.
Yes. Or front gating? Frunk gating?
Frunking, no G.
No G? Okay. All right. That's a tongue twister.
So now, picture you're driving down the PCH, the sun's setting, the view looks incredible. Oh, I got to pull off and see this.
Yep.
Enjoy a nice glass of wine or a coffee.
Yep.
So you sit in the frunk, you open up this. You also have a nice cup holder here to put your glass of wine.
I was wondering
So I'll walk you through the interior design story, which is the bread and butter for me. We can't start the design story without stating the obvious here. The big innovation in this vehicle is the new HMI layout. So I will do the startup.
Wow. There
So
we go.
this whole experience is also combined with ambient lighting throughout the cabin, all the way onto the spine light.
Oh, wow. That's a first. I like that.
So when we did Air, and as you can see with many other vehicles, you always have some form of information blocked by the steering wheel. So working closely with the ergonomics team, we came up with a new layout to help benefit safety, usability, and the overall viewability of the screen to get it as close to the road as possible. So here what we did is we moved the IC screen as high as possible to road view. We also optimized the steering wheel shape to move it below the screen to not obstruct any of the information on the screen.
Yeah, and I'm just positioning the camera right now where my eyes are sitting in the seat here. So as you can see, I get a clear view of the driver's binnacle 34-inch display, if I'm not mistaken.
34-inch seamless OLED.
Seamless
display.
OLED. Wow, really nice. So that's a big deal because a lot of people don't think about that when they're building this, right?
So the overall layout, we refer to this as the clear view cockpit.
Okay.
Another innovation with Gravity over Air is our pilot panel. So that's the center screen here in the vehicle. Houses a lot of features. But in Gravity, we've raised it even higher to road view and changed it from a portrait to a landscape aspect ratio.
That's the difference.
That allows a lot more media usage for the occupant. Throughout the IC, so as with Air, we have our car controls on the left, but this time they're more dynamic. It's like a dynamic car control area for the vehicle.
Okay.
So you have all your features here like wipers, locks, and openings, but some of them slide away while driving because you don't need to be opening your trunk or frunk while driving.
You shouldn't, but some people might. Yeah, and I take it there's a beep or there's an audible feedback if you want that option.
Well, when you
right?
reach to it
Yeah.
or use the steering wheel controls, those things will pop out in different modes of the vehicle.
Nice.
Also new is our layout of all the tiles and apps. So now you can scroll through many different apps. Not only are they here, but you can have dual layout between the pilot panel and the IC the right side of the screen. So you can still slide these down, but now I can have navigation here, and I can have my Spotify up here.
Which is very important. I like that. Very nice.
So I like this with my Air today that I drive. Like to be able to have this feature is very important.
So whatever you want closer, if you want Spotify closer, leave nav up there.
And
flip it around,
personalization,
yeah.
right? I mean, a lot of people like this full overview of the map. They don't really need it up here all the time, and maybe they want something different.
Very nice.
So not only are these the new layouts within the screen, but also how our steering wheel has been updated to control the screens. So our steering wheel controls are now more reminiscent of some remote controls for TVs today, some high-end controls. So this is actually a capacitive touch swipe pad, and this will relate directly to the steering wheel. So say you're in this position and you want to slide through the tiles. You can either do that by sliding with your finger or with the touchpad. And the capacitive touchpad will have the same usage, so you can slide through each of these features. Also, sliding up and down will slide through these different menus.
Nice.
That's going back and forth. So those relate to the right side of the screen. The left side of the steering wheel controls in the trip area. There's different features there for showing your efficiency while driving, your trip, tire pressure, and some other car controls. A big new feature within Gravity is our Lucid Spaces. So this, combined with the experience of the OLED screen and the dynamic ambient lighting, adds different experiences for the driver. So say you had a rough day and you're looking for that moment to just relax, and you're in the city but you want to be at the beach just to get that feeling. You have these spaces that transfer through all the lighting in the screens to give you that experience.
Okay, wow. And I love Santa Monica. It's one of my favorite places. I used to live in LA and I was always out in Santa Monica. Very nice. That is cool. The resolution and the clarity, hopefully it's coming through on the phone here. It's just outstanding. It's picture quality. It's just outstanding.
What you get out of OLED displays, just the darkest blacks, the clarity in the pixels, it's really, really incredible.
Very nice. Wow.
And I'm like, I just need 5 minutes to just
It's a great idea.
take a breath.
That's fantastic. It's really nice.
Really goes back to key features or key pillars of the company. I mean, heart and mind is two parts of what we're really about here at Lucid. Really thinking about the experience for the driver, and to that point, like, that is luxury for us. That's what we expect luxury to be.
And it's that connection, right, with the users, with the drivers and the passengers. Now you're taking it to another whole level of connectivity. It's not just the technology, but that, again, what you can do and what value can add to your life, not just in a transportation method, something to get from A to B and haul stuff, but this kind of interaction, this is unheard of 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. So it's really a step up in that connectivity to the vehicle from a personal perspective.
As well, with the screens, we always have our physical controls. A really important aspect of Lucid DNA is having key controls that you can use without taking your eyes off the road. Like with Air, our CID switches have now moved down below the screen. We have the volume roller like we've had before. We have temp and fan control, but additionally we have two customizable buttons that the driver or passenger can pick for whatever their most frequent use case.
Maybe heated seat, heated steering wheel, whatever. Glove box. So both of them are programmable.
Correct.
Excellent. Very nice.
But we also combine this mid-century modern furniture look. That you can see throughout the cabin of Gravity, but that allows us to get more of a substantial, stronger feeling within the cabin. So that led us to a console design that is a coffee table. So we have a glass center console cover. This is tempered glass, obviously safe. But when you slide the glass center console cover forward, you then have a tray for all the most
really
nice
nice.
storage.
Wow.
So in the front, you can store your key fob and or a pen. We have cup holders here that are bigger than the ones in Air. Additionally, we have a charge pad that will charge 2 phones and other things like AirPods or similar. So not only do we have this tray for usability, but you can also slide this forward to really optimize all of this use space.
So I think you can fit a 6-pack in there, but I wouldn't know about those things.
So yeah, we have all this use space, and we will offer these different accessories for depending on how you want to use the vehicle.
Go big or go home. I love the versatility in that, because again, you can utilize it the way that you feel you need to, and people underestimate storage. There's a lot of stuff you want to carry in your vehicle, and it's really important to have that flexibility.
It's really something we spend a lot of time on. Onto the door handles, similar with Air, all of our functions are located in one minimal location. So we have our carryover trigger door release in the grab handle. Our window switches are here, but this is our kind of our warm area for touch zones in the vehicle. So throughout the cabin, we keep our crafted details and our warm woods all in the same one-touch location, so around the vent controls and around the door handle.
Right. And looking at the the driver's area again, you've got your standard controls for your windows, the touch door lock, and there is a mechanical lever as well.
As a backup,
so
yes.
as a backup, which is kind of safety standards. You've got some nice deep door pockets down here for putting some stuff as well. A very nice layout. It's extremely comfortable, and I love this kind of design here where I guess you've just left it open, so it just really adds that that airiness to it, right?
That's the wave. This wrap around the IP really optimizes the space, the feeling of spaciousness, but doing this break within the section really gives you a contrast of light and dark, which makes the space look even wider. Right.
All right, well, that was an awesome tour. What do you want to say to some of the folks here just finally on this vehicle?
So yeah, I mean, that wraps up Gravity. In summary, to us, you have more space than you can truly use with seating up to 7. You have more power. You have 0 to 60 in less than 3.5 seconds.
I know, it's amazing.
You have range that is over 440 miles or 700 kilometers.
Yep.
Additionally, it's really luxury with all the attributes for the body in mind. We really believe Gravity has everything that the SUV buyer is looking for in an SUV.
Yeah, and we don't have all the stats yet, like pack size and full horsepower and torque, but as you said, over 800 horsepower, very fast speeds. Charging will be fast. I mean, the Lucid Air is one of the fastest charging vehicles that I've seen actually in a pull. I know Kyle at Out of Spec, my good friend, he was able to pull 301 for 301, 302 on a rapid charge on an Air a few months ago, and that's the highest I've ever seen. So I know that these are 250 plus, and I believe when I looked at the math, because it's 80 amp, if I got it correctly, it's 19 point something kilowatts up to for AC, which is, you're in the F-150 territory when you're able to pull that, as long as you have a 100 amp circuit at home. So you could charge this relatively quickly even at AC level 2.
Absolutely.
So pretty good stats. 80K US estimated starting price for the base model. Obviously, you're going to launch it with a Dream Edition, yes, I would imagine, correct, first, which will be higher, and then you'll get to the models. But they all will be all-wheel drive, correct?
Correct. On
the models, and starting late 2024, I understand, potentially for the US first deliveries.
Yeah.
And then Canada sometime after that. But any idea when you're opening reservations for these?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? Okay, no problem. Just continue to check the website, and they have a lot of sales outlets across North America, so I'd encourage you to go in, talk to people, understand what they're all about, their mission, and the technology behind it. And we haven't even talked about the motors, the battery pack, how you guys can charge so fast. It's a lot of really cool technology that they've put together at Lucid. So congratulations on this beautiful vehicle. Look forward to some seat time eventually when they come up here. And thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the well in-depth tour. All right, take care. All right, and that's it for this edition of the EV Revolution Show, special edition looking at the new Lucid Gravity. I want to thank Lucid for inviting me down to this great event and being able to spend some quality time understanding a lot of the ins and outs about this vehicle, because that's something sometimes we don't get as journalists when we just get these cars to review or do some quick launches. Sometimes we can't go in depth, so I really appreciate Zeb's fortitude to be able to explain everything to me. So thank them for that. Hope you enjoyed the show. Check out if you want to subscribe to all my stuff, check it out at the end. And thank you very much, everybody, again. Until the next time, stay safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care, and bye-bye.